Hello everyone, you are watching Pairfect. I'm Jojo Silvestre.
And I am Dinah Ventura.
Wow, we have a special surprise
This
guest.
afternoon,
Yeah,
a lot of you expected Secretary Alfredo Pascual to be sitting down with us today, Jojo.
yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately, he cannot join us this afternoon. We have moved the interview to another date because he has to attend an important meeting. So, we have a surprise.
Just as VIP.
Just as important to us, especially,
Yes.
is our guest for today, this afternoon, our very own editor-in-chief, Gigi Arcilia.
Let's give her.
Welcome to Pairfect.
Yeah.
This is your first time in our studio. How are you today?
As
It's not my first time actually. I'm here on Tuesdays and I'm seated right,
Right
there
here.
where you
Yes.
are seated
No,
now.
on the Perfect studio, you are our special guest.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm the surprise guest and I'm surprised because they just called me a few minutes ago and I thought there was, something to do and I didn't know. I'm here.
but as the editor-in-chief, dapat laging handa.
Yes, for whatever it's worth, I'm ready to answer your questions,
Yes,
Jojo
that's
and
what we want to hear because we're here to get to know more our EIC, who I hear, Jojo, has no heart.
Oh wow. At this time of the year or all the time?
This is
Hindi lang
February, di
Valentine's
ba?
ha?
Oo, Valentine's Day. So let's talk about hearts.
Oo. Ano ba? Sino ba napupusuan mo ngayon?
siguro no heart, that's only figurative.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so because I won't be here, breathing, if I have no heart, literally.
Okay.
Yes. So why do you say that? What does it mean?
Um, Let me gather my thoughts.
Okay.
When I say having no heart, which means principled, you know,
Okay.
when you believe in something, you stick by it, and there's some instances, of course, I mean, everyone has, principle. So you have to, I mean, I live by it, and there's no way that, I will bend for that principle. So that's what I meant by having no heart. But, literally, of course, I have a heart, I have kids, I have friends, I have relatives, my heart beats, of course.
For your family.
Yes, and friends,
and
and,
friends.
second families, third families.
Okay.
But what's your number one advocacy? Na, ngayon, ngayong panahong ito.
Now, it has always been, compassion. Compassion for the people around.
Okay. Kasali kami doon.
Of course, I get this arm, friends who need, who are into going through, going
Something.
through something, going through depression, I get disarmed by that. And animals,
Okay.
Pets.
I have pets. I have when I was back in Davao, I have 3 dogs, and when I migrated to Manila, it started with just one cat, and they're all puskies. So they're not, the cats with breed, and it started with 1, and then plus 2, plus 3, and now they're 10.
Wow.
10.
Yes, so I'm living
Okay.
with, my 3 kids and, 10 cats.
So you have 3 kids. Tell us about
Yeah.
your. I know you have a daughter who's a nurse. How
She's
about
a medical technologist.
medical
Okay,
technology?
I have 3 kids. The eldest is a girl. She's now a lady. She's a medical technologist. My second is a boy. He's graduating, and my youngest is also a boy. He's graduating as well. So sabay na silang gagraduate.
Dina, let's start.
From the
Oh,
very
yeah. Oh,
beginning, like
sabi
we
nung
always
kanta,
do, right?
and sound of music is coming soon, no?
Mm-mm.
Taga saan ba kayo? Ang
Um,
roots ninyo?
my parents are from Bicol, both Bicolanos,
Oh.
but I was raised in Manila.
Mm.
And then when I had, I already have three kids, and then we
Okay.
migrated because of, my 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 kid's father. We had to relocate to Cebu for a year, and then we moved to Davao, and
Okay.
then in Davao, I found my second home. So
Okay.
I decided to, you know, be a Davaoeña.
Okay.
Magandang kwento yan.
Oo nga. Pero do you have
Yes.
siblings or
Yes,
only
I do.
child?
I only have one. Actually, we're a very small family. We're two in the family,
Mhm.
and then it was hard, you know, being only two children in the family. So when your parents get old, and then the responsibilities of taking care of them. So it's only me or
Or
or my late brother,
Oh.
and then so I realized if I back then, if I get married, then I got to have more than two. That's why I have three kids.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
see. Okay. What did your parents do? Why were you moving around so much when you were younger?
Actually, it's not my parents. It's with my parents. We only stayed in Manila in Mandaluyong. It's because of my kid's father. He was reassigned in Cebu for a year, so we had to be there. And then
Okay. All right.
after a year, we went to Davao. So that's where I found my niche in Davao.
Why did you choose Davao? Ba't kayo nagpunta ron? Coming from Cebu.
It's a work assignment for him. So that's why. So and then my kids went to school. They were starting in their preschool years, and then we love it there. Davao is sabi nga nila it's the most it was adjudged the most livable city back then.
Yeah,
It really is.
Yeah.
It
very
really is.
clean,
Yeah.
very or
When was this?
That was in 1999.
Ayun. Anong position ni Presidente noon, Duterte?
He was mayor back then.
Mayor.
Yeah, mayor.
So were you already in media at that
Yeah,
time?
after a few months in Davao, I joined Sunstar Davao. It's a community paper, a network of community papers nationwide. I was there for 13 years. And then I took a job in Dubai. It's also a journalism work. And
For how long?
yeah, I just stayed in Dubai for like 3 months. And then I went back to the Philippines to do my job offshore. So it's the same work. It was just that I was in the Philippines.
But before you joined media, did you hold other positions in other industries?
Yeah, actually, it's still in communications. I was a speechwriter. I was
Kanino po?
yeah, I worked for the AFP and for the what's that? Philippine National Police. Back then it was PCINP before it was named Philippine National Police. So I was really writing even before. It's just that I was not in the mainstream. It was only in 1999 that I became a member of the mainstream media.
Media.
What did you take up in college?
It's BS psychology.
Oh, psychology.
Yeah, it's far different. So I mean, not everyone in the media, I know. Not everyone, has a background on journalism, but writing and communications is a skill
Yeah.
that it doesn't matter if you're an engineer. I have friends in the media who's an architect, an engineer,
Yeah,
a
that's true.
nurse.
Yes.
It's
everybody.
just the passion for
For writing.
for writing.
Community.
Was that something you always wanted to write, to communicate?
Yes, I did. I really wanted that, but my mom, who is a nurse, she she wanted me to become a doctor back then. So that's the reason I took up, psychology.
Pre-med.
Yeah. And then when I landed a job immediately after graduation. So, nagtampo yung nanay ko. Hindi ako kinausap ng one year yata yun. Because, that's
That was her dream
that
for
was her
you.
dream for herself too. Kaya nga nurse siya. So,
What was your first job?
writing.
Writing talaga.
Yeah, writing. Hindi lang sa mainstream.
Oo.
So, yun na talaga yung background ko. Speeches, briefing manuscripts, what else? Anything.
Okay. Nag-detour yata kayo.
At some point.
Oo.
Detour? You mean from that?
I mean,
Alam mo kasi,
You're supposed to have-
nag-research kami eh.
oo.
What do you mean?
You're supposed to have gone up the mountains.
Yes.
The
You had a
mountains.
life that's far different from your life now.
Actually, it's a secret that it remained a secret until I wrote my column for Daily Tribune when I was still, I think I was 3 weeks old with Daily Tribune. So I had no topic to write about. And then, what if, then biglang what if na isulat ko yung experience ko. Actually nga, third person nga yun eh.
Talaga.
Third
So
person.
tell us about
Sir-
that.
Tell us about that nga.
Oo.
Yung life in the mountains of...
Oo.
Ay, hindi naman talaga life in the mountains. Almost, pero in an urban setting. Back in college, alam mo yan, di ba? Academic freedom, na-expose ka to, hindi naman realities,
Sa Manila yan.
Yeah, in UP. I was
okay.
in UP then. So, of course, yung influence, it's not really the influence. Kasi, syempre, may sarili ka namang pag-iisip. So, it started there, May mga professors doon, teaching math, but, ang tinuturo, yung utang ng World Bank, ng Pilipinas sa World Bank, IMF. So, nagiging mulat ka, to what's happening in the society. And back then, it was, then the late President Ferdinand Marcos. Siya yung time na yun. That was in early 80s. 82 kasi ako pumasok ng UP. Now, so, siyempre, masyadong restive noon. I mean, different sectors are, restive. So, time ko pa nga yun when, the EDSA people power happened. So, yun. And then, of course, when you're in UP, it's either you join a sorority or, a social-cultural org or an academic org. So, I joined a social-culture org. Anyway, the rest is history. I realized I was already, mulat, kumbaga tawag doon mulat. So, I was very active. And then, I became a member of Kabataang Makabayan.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, we had exposure trips. And then, my roommates at the dorm, hindi nila alam where I am, overnight permit. And then, so hindi alam ng parents ko. My mother pala kasi wala na yung...
That was because of your org at that time. Yun nga.
Marami ring factors. It's not really because of the org. Maraming factors. External factors. So anyway, I was there. So we meet regularly, exposure trips, and then meron akong kakilala din na nasa UP who used to be was a political detainee. Ang sinasabi niya, hindi talaga, hindi advisable that you na mamundo ka kasi wala kang magagawa doon. Tago ka ng tago. I mean, lagi kang hinahabol. You can do a lot if you're in the city, in the urban area. So, makes sense.
Yeah.
And then, I realized then na hindi ko pwedeng i-disappoint yung mother ko. If she was expecting too much from me just because of, mga cause na, paano naman yung nanay ko. I mean, it would break her heart. So, I realized na hindi. Kumbaga, I can be, I can help the country. I can help Filipinos in some other way. But not through that. So, yun yung nakapag-ano sa akin, family.
So your family thoughts of
Yeah, of my
not
mother.
disappointing
I,
your
I, I
mom.
should not I should not cause her disappointment and heartbreak. So, and then nag-work na ako, tapos na yung UP days, nag-work na ako. And then, yun naman, na-heartbreak siya because of, I didn't pursue
Medicine.
yung medicine. And then, I worked, the irony of it, I was working, in the military, I was writing. So, ironic. Kasi masyadong 180 degrees.
Oh, you were on the other side
Yeah,
now
the
when you
other
were in
side.
college.
So, I get feelers na kumbaga, yung umaliog ako mag-work doon is already a help, helping the organization that I used to be part of. And then, iba kasi pag nasa labas ka na di ba? I mean, after outside school, so that's already reality Kasi, I mean, when we're young, we're very idealistic. So, I mean, you get to see, the reality. So, anyway, it's my life. I mean, nobody can dictate on
But
me.
how did you make that transition? Kasi, di ba, parang from believing so much, being that idealistic, and actually doing things to live up to that beliefs that you had at the time. Tapos, bigla kang nag-work sa other side. Paano yun? Like, isn't that like a disconnect somehow?
Hindi naman. Kasi nung before I took that job, I was already, syempre, I mean, tapos ka na mag-school. You're already, living your life differently. Hindi ka na pumapasok. So, nakita mo nga yung reality, di ba? And then, the irony of it still is, my father used to be a Philippine member of the Philippine Army.
Oh.
Yeah. And
Interesting
my uncle is, a chaplain of the Air Force before. So yun. But then wala naman walang bearing yun sa akin. Basta
you just made
when
up
I
your
took
mind.
my first job after college, dun ko nakita na yung reality. Bakit pala kung if you're not a member of, this activist itong mga underground groups, wala ka na palang maitutulong. I mean, lahat naman tayo. We can be
Useful.
we can be useful, productive, and contribute to, the growth and development of the country in our own way.
Yeah.
Not only through that.
So I think nga that experience, going through that parang whole circle, broadened your mind even more, di ba?
Yeah, going outside of your comfort zone. Siguro, back in college, that was my comfort zone. Kasi yun yung my associations, with my org, with, roommates, or, friends of friends that I always hung out with. So, nandun yung influence. It was not peer pressure. It was still aking decision pa rin yun. But then, after no, lumabas ka na, yun na nga yung reality
Okay.
ng that's the real world.
The real world.
And then, nagtrabaho siya sa Malacanang. But before we go into details, let's pause for a commercial break.
centers, pati sa mga partners may online pa at app. You can buy it with your fingers. Still phone remittance and more. Online shopping, you can buy it all. Di magpadala, you can buy it all. Anumang pera transaction, you can buy it all.
Sabayan ang pagbabago ng mundo for all your pera transactions, all new Bayan.
Fiber is the free and secure way to connect with friends and family anywhere. Send messages and make phone and video calls for free. Download Viber now.
Welcome back. You are watching Pairfect. Still with us this afternoon is our editor-in-chief, Miss Gigi Arcilia. Hello, hello.
Yes, welcome back.
So before we took a short break, Jojo, you were asking about her work in
Yeah,
Malacanang.
yeah.
This was after your writing job in the PNP and
No. Meron na mga nangyari after that.
Okay.
Yeah. So, after Sunstar for
Yeah.
13 years, I went to Dubai.
Oo nga pala.
Yeah, and then bumalik ako. And then meron ako mga consultancy for private firms. And then, so 2016 came. I was part of the media team of then presidential candidate Duterte. And then after that, hindi naman ako kaagad nag-join ng government when he took his oath after his inauguration. So it was like kung June yun, July, August, September, October na when I joined government. So that was less than 6 years. Presidential Communications Operations Office, PCOO pa noon. Now it's PCOO. So I headed one of the attached agencies of PCOO. That's the News and Information Bureau. Yun yung mother unit ng Philippine News Agency. So it was a job na hindi bago sa akin. Kasi PNA is, it's media. It's government owned lang, but then it's media. So hindi siya bago. And, it's what I love to do. So, and besides, parang sabi ko, eto na, now I'm with government. So I have to, give my share of how I can, define what public service is. So 6 years was different kasi nasanay ako with private, ibang-iba.
in what way?
Of course, on policies, everything has to be on paper, even when traveling, may accountability, the money that you spend, yung budget ng agency, it's all audited, so everything has to be, used or spent judiciously. Yeah. So, nandun.
Did you adjust easily? Or medyo,
Medyo iba kasi iba yung environment ng government office compared sa private. In government, medyo nako-convince ako na totoo yung mga sinasabi. Merong ng katotohanan na 5 o'clock yung uwian, then 4 o'clock pa lang, 4:30 nagpe-prepare na. Di ba? In government, in private kasi, di ba? Your job is done, that's the only time that you go and clock out. But then in government, ganun. And then yung procrastination na, bukas na lang to. So,
Hindi ba
yeah, I
nangyayari
mean,
yan
it's different. So, I kind of, infuse, discipline, but, in government, kasi yung continuity, that's the problem in government, yung continuity, especially if you're heading a big department or an agency, yung continuity. Kasi every time, there's a new president, there's a new, a new appointee. So, yung continuity. So, makes me realize na kaya pala minsan nasa stock instead na, moving forward, and there's a change of admin. Kaya pala hindi na nako-continue, but a few.
Was it a large office?
Yeah, like close
Your office.
close to 200 employees.
That's all over.
Yes, because we have bureaus, provincial bureaus.
What were your responsibilities then?
Operations and admin. So, or operations and admin, madami. Like, disbursement. Ang pinaka-toxic doon is, going to the Senate pag budget season. You have to go, Senate or Congress, you have to go there, to defend the budget, and then you'll answer. You have to answer. Yeah, I mean, as a department, yes, we go there, it's a scheduled, and then all the heads of the agencies are also part of the, budget deliberation. So they ask you anything, so you have to answer them. So that's how, very toxic ang pag-defend ng budget. Sometimes you have to stay up, iba yung schedule mo, mababago yung mamumove. Ang pinaka sobrang yung natapos kami like 2 in the morning. Like a few minutes lang kasi isususpend na naman for other time. Yun yung very toxic. And then of course, yung dynamics ng organization, just like in private, iba din kasi yung iba na hindi mo pwedeng yung comfort zone. If you implement a new policy for the better, dahil sa labas yun ng comfort zone nila, merong mga resistance. So, that's and lahat naman governed ng mga civil service rules. But then, yung mga tao talaga who would really bend the rules.
So how did you deal with such challenges?
Mahirap. For 6 years, medyo naka-adjust ako ng ganun. I mean, I really have to make this work. I was entrusted this position. So, hindi lang ako dapat, alam mo yung pasok ka na 8 hours and then okay na, no? I mean, there has to be a legacy. Yung kailangan merong of course, improve the services, yung PNA, improve it. Kasi it's people's money that is spent. So, ang ayoko lang kasi, give the people's money's worth. Kung yung serbisyo, ibigay mo.
So, when that ended, did you feel like you accomplished what you wanted to accomplish from the beginning?
Yes, somehow, but not fully. Kasi there's a lot of things to do to improve and to implement reforms. Hindi naman, lalo na, I mean, some would, welcome the reforms, but others won't. So, kulang talaga ang 6 years. I think nga yung ganyan mga positions, it should not be a code term, They should, I mean, career, they should be there na, I mean, para yung continuity, hindi na di-disrupt.
That's a good point. You should look
Palit
into
ng
that.
palit.
Yeah. So, kahit inumpisahan mo and then merong uupo na naman, iba na naman. So, back to square one. So, even siguro yung mga tao, I mean, sunod lang tayo nito. Anyway, may papalit naman after 6 years. So, iba na
So,
naman.
parang yung commitment din.
Walang commitment, yung pagtatrabaho with dedication, it's also a habit forming and also in the mindsetting. Now kung 6 years lang, so iba na naman.
You're not really that
Yeah.
invested in it.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
know it's going to end.
Yeah, that's right.
How was it like working with President Duterte?
Nandun yung ano for me. Kasi I've known him, I mean, back when I was with the mainstream
So,
media in Davao, I've known him. So it's far different from the impressions of, the other people. Because ang ano dyan is, sa akin, ibigay yung serbisyo. Ibigay yung serbisyo. Not for anything else. I joined government not to enrich myself,
Yeah.
but, for public service. For the people. That was my, and my principal, the president, was, yun yung kung ano yung core thrust niya, serbisyo, and that's what I did too. I mean, serve the people well, and give their money's worth.
Eh,
Daming dinaanan ng Ma'am
Yeah.
Gigi.
may mga tumutulig sa Pangulo, di ba?
Yeah.
Ano ang reaction ninyo pag, yan namang boss mo, yan namang ganyan.
Oo
ganyan,
nga,
ganyan."
pag inaaway ka
Oo.
because of
Actually, on Facebook, I do not read my Facebook. I don't even post about work on my Facebook.
Okay.
I don't post about work very seldom, except pag natag ako on Facebook. Ang mga feeds, yun lang yung mga it's that, the agency, gets, yun, pinupost ko. And hindi ako nadidistract. I mean, kada may admin naman may mga ano dyan may mga detractors, may mga critics, may mga nag-appreciate. I mean, it's normal. So, para sa akin, trabaho lang. I mean, I stick to kung ano yung mandato ng ahensya that was
focus
entrusted
on
to me.
your job.
So that's what I do.
Yeah.
Kasi kung makikipag-away ka, it's undebatable Diba?
It will never end, that argument.
Yeah, and it's true that you have meron talagang yung mga yung pagpasok mo ng government, may mga friends ka who are no longer your friends.
friends.
Yeah. Totoo yan.
Oo nga, oo.
Except pag nasa private ka, I mean, it's your life. But then if you're government, nawawala ka talaga. They think na kung ano yung shortcomings, ano yung wala namang perpekto na gobyerno But then, kung ano yung shortcomings, pag gobyerno, parte ka na doon.
Kasalanan mo na.
Kasalanan mo na yun. Kasi you're part of government.
Ano ang source of fulfillment mo?
My source of fulfillment is, kasi ang pinaka-operations kasi ng yung tangible, is the Philippine News Agency. So naramdaman ko yung fulfillment that the page visits increased, from yun nga dati 11,000 lang when I came, and then nag-increase na siya to 5 million page visits a month. So that was fulfillment. And then of course na-revamp yung the old website, yung mga ganun. I feel
Really made
and
very
then
significant improvement.
yeah, kahit papaano, I'm not of course it's a teamwork, with all the other staff of, the office. But then fulfillment for me. Yeah lang.
Tangible.
Oo. Minsan lang, I mean, you'll not be there naman for forever. Medyo may disappointments lang or na parang, ay, bakit nagkaganito na? Ay, bakit nagkaganito? Medyo may lang. Sana tinuloy.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
Si Dinah po at si Ma'am Gigi, magkwekwento tungkol sa mga, well, I don't know if it's supposed to be said this way, usaping babae, no? Like between two women.
surprise guest din ako.
Oo, ganon.
So, guest na rin
So,
siya.
No.
when we come back, sila po ang magchichikahan.
Ano yun?
centers, pati sa mga parties may online pa at app. You can buy it with your fingers. Still don't remittance and more. Online shopping, you can buy it all. Di magpadala, you can buy it all. Ano mang pera transaction, you can buy it all.
Sabayan ang pagbabago ng mundo for all your pera transactions, all new Bayad.
Viber is the free and secure way to connect with friends and family anywhere. Send messages and make phone and video calls for free. Download Viber now.
Welcome back to Pairfect. Marami pong itatanong si Dinah kay Ma'am Gigi. Usaping babae, usaping trabaho, usaping pamilya.
Tama yan, Jojo. Welcome back again to Pairfect. So, Ma'am Gigi, tell us naman about your how you ended up in Daily Tribune.
Ah, yeah.
When did you join us and paano nangyari yun? Of course, alam natin, di ba, Jojo?
Alam niyo na pala eh.
Oh, but then, kwento natin sa lahat.
I've known the owners way back in 2016. We worked together during the campaign. So, and then when I was in government, may mga collaboration kami na ginawa. So, after nung June 30, nung change of admin, siguro like 2 weeks after that, yun, I was contacted, and
What went through your mind? Was it something you welcomed this
I
opportunity?
yes I did.
Yeah, again.
Yes I did. It was a job I did for 13 years for newspaper. Kaya hindi naman siguro sabi ko, and of course the challenges in government. Sabi ko siguro na-equip naman ako.
Madali.
Hindi, na-equip naman din ako. I mean,
Ready for anything na.
and then when I started, syempre of course iba-iba yung style, of course, iba. But then it's a typical newsroom I grew with for 13 years. And I saw the difference ng balik ulit ng private and government. I saw the difference. Mas maganda.
Oh.
Yeah, the environment was medyo mas ano sa akin. Kasi mas merong interaction, may exchange of ideas. Kasi in government, if you're the head of agency, everything you say, they just say
Yes.
yes. They just
Just
say,
done.
yeah. Pero ayoko sana noon. I mean, it should be, should be a marketplace of ideas, diba? So, nakita ko yun sa parang naalala ko yung actually nga, mas nakita ko yung professionalism in private than government. I mean, I'm speaking from agency.
Wala bang kontrabida?
No, that's the dynamics of every
Okay.
It's about organization naman.
Talagang ganon.
Nandun yung dynamics. And, kung walang ganun, hindi naman, I mean, it's not healthy naman. Walang nag-oppose.
Yeah.
Oo, dapat meron para.
Yeah.
Ganun naman
That's
talaga.
how we learn.
Pero I'm curious kasi you're a woman and you've held mga positions of leadership and now you're, again,
Yeah.
the EIC, the top position. Ano ba yung what do you bring into the role or position as a woman that allows you to lead the way you do?
medyo ano kasi, iba, sabi nga nila, iba yung when it's a woman or it's a man. Medyo may pinag-iba. Pag ano kasi, pag babae, compassion, di ba? May malambot na puso, you know. But then, going back to your question na ano na how do I ano na babae ako.
Yes.
I mean, yes, may
Challenge din ba
may
siya?
malambot na puso. Yes, of course. But then, minsan, ano minsan, set aside mo maawa ka, yes. You show that, you know, you commiserate and, you know,
Empathize.
you empathize and you know you understand where they're coming from. But then when it comes kasi to ano, I mean, you have to be firm din eh.
Tough.
Oo.
Pero hindi lahat ng tao nag-work yung pagiging tough eh. I mean, medyo different folks, different strokes.
So I guess it's really your understanding of different people and how to deal with each of them. No?
Yeah, you have to understand then bakit ganun yung behavior. So that's where, you know, the psychology aspect comes in.
Yes. Kaya pala na-train ka doon in school. Pero what about you being a mom
Yeah.
and holding a job that's like it's very erratic yung hours and sometimes really very long days? How do you manage your time?
For the longest time, kasi alam nung kids ko yung nature ng work. Okay, so kinalakihan nila that I was with a newspaper. So alam nila na wala ako to join them for dinner. Maliliit pa sila. Once a week lang yung off. They were happy when I joined government kasi 2 days yung off. 2 days, 5 days kasi. But then, you know, there are sometimes na may meetings, wala ako. But, you know, it's, you make up for that. Although, sabi nga nila, there's no such thing as quality time. Diba? Wala daw ganun eh. You have to be there for them. But, you know, it's how you make them understand. Kasi they alam nila, I mean, being a single mom, alam nila na parang they understand the sacrifices that I made for them. You know, and it made them responsible, independent, yeah, because lalo na nung nasa government kasi, I would come home 7. Medyo late na ngayon for working in government, mga ganun. But then, now is medyo later kasi mga past 9, 10 o'clock. So anyway, since nung they grew up na ganun yung setup, they learn to be independent and, you know, responsible. So, alam mo yun, the usual. You can rely on them, you can just message them na, oh, magsaing ka na. O, alam mo naman yung limitations, o magprito na lang ng ganito. So, you know, I can depend on them. That's good. You have to gather the dirty laundry.
But it must have been harder when they were smaller pa and you had to be away. Being a single mom, di ba?
Nung when I went to Dubai, my youngest yata was grade 4 noon eh. Yan, lumalaki na. Nasa college na yung ko noon, yung eldest. I decided to, you know, go out of the country and work for them. It was for them. But then I realized, sabi ko, parang, anuhin ko naman. I mean, if I'm not with them. I mean, your kids only, you know, are only young for a certain period of time. Dadating yung time, parang kailan pa na, I mean, pag pwede ko na silang kasama, but they're grown-ups na, and then they have a life of their own. They have friends, they have their own activities. But, you know, I'm lucky na, na my kids are adjusted to the, na kahit malalaki na, kasi my eldest is 29.
Already?
Yeah. And then my second is 25, my youngest is 24. So, parang, na they know na pag weekend, they should not have other, you know, activities.
So, how do you bond?
What do you do together?
Yeah.
Kami, we go out. We go out.
Movies.
We grocery together.
Ay,
Ah,
oh.
Yeah.
maganda.
Kanya-kanya, ano yung kanila. And then,
What
we eat
they want.
together. Movies, hindi na. May Netflix na yan.
Oo.
Ano eh. So, at home na yan. But then, I mean, we treasure, you know, this weekly time with each other. And adjusted sila, sabi ko nga, babalikan ko, na they don't plan, you know, their own lakad
Okay.
On
on the
weekends.
days that I'm off.
Oh, sweet.
Kasi, kahit na maliliit pa, parang it was a habit na, lalabas tayo. Saan tayo pupunta? So, hanggang sa lumaki sila, even ganun na yung age nila, they would still ask me, aalis
Ah,
tayo.
talaga?
Aalis tayo bukas. Kunwari, bukas is my off. Aalis tayo bukas. Saan po?
nice.
Parang ganun. So,
Tradition na.
yeah, that's a tradition.
How was it like during the pandemic? You were all together in
Yeah, during
home,
the pandemic, I work every day.
from home.
No, I go to the office.
Ah, talaga?
Yeah, I go to the office every
Sa
day.
Malacanang.
Oo. Mahirap, you have to be there. Ano kasi, I mean, it's always
Communications.
leadership by example. Eh.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay,
I
okay.
mean, it's kailangan kasi frontline kasi yung office. So, you know, alangan namang
Wala
you
ka
have to be seen.
Yeah.
You have to be visible.
Okay.
So, ganun din. Just like any family, nandun lang sa bahay,
Okay.
you know. And then of course, medyo magagalit ka na, I mean, you keep watch din sa mga bata na hindi pwedeng pumunta sa ibang bahay, dito lang,
Yeah.
paalam na birthday ni ganito, sabi ko,
No.
pagbalik mo, mag-RT-PCR ka, parang gano'n.
Siyempre.
Ayun.
What about time for yourself? Do you
Time
ever
for myself,
find that?
I consider being with my kids a time for myself
Okay.
because they're all a part of me.
Wow.
So
Galing
I
nun.
consider that. So
That's nice.
I nakita ko yung I feel parang made ako for the day na may nakausap ko yung anak ko. Kahit lalo na yung my daughter kasi we share the same room. Ayun.
What about
We go to a massage for a massage together, coming with the kids. Yeah, sometimes we drive to
Out of
Tagaytay. I mean, it's just for the
balikan.
day para lang for a different para maiba to break the monotony.
Wala ka pa apo?
Wala. It seems like, my kids, parang hindi nila naiisip yun.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, di masaya ka.
Of course, because
more time with them?
more time with them, and I know na kahit malalaki sila, I know that makakasama ko pa sila.
What about relationships? Like, do you ever think about that? Getting into another relationship again?
Hindi ko naiisip yun. You know the demands of work, even when I was in government, the demands of work, prevents me from And besides, yung happiness, happiness sila, di ba, is a state of mind.
Yes.
Yeah, happiness is a state
Ganun
of
pala.
mind.
I
Sabi
should
nga
learn
iba.
from you.
Yeah, it's a state of mind na minsan hindi mo alam na kung ano yung nandiyan na, that's already a source of happiness.
Oo.
Yeah.
So,
diba?
hindi ko nangintay ng boyfriend ko.
Go with
Sabi
each
nga,
month.
don't find, let love find you.
Oh,
Okay.
Jojo.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Never pursue.
Yeah. Yan yung
It will come to
kasi
you.
it's love month, di ba?
Oo.
Don't find love. Let
Okay.
love find
Ayun
you.
naman, di nandun na tayo sa topic ng love,
Love.
month, di ba? So, ano yung mo, yung, what do you live by pagdating sa love? Like, what do you,
Anong, yeah.
love is?
Ano ang paniniwala mo? Paniwala.
Naalala ko tuloy yung mga slam book days. What is love?
Oo. That's still something you need to answer. Now, as an adult, after all the relationships you've had, learned from.
Whether ano man yan na klaseng love, love for, you know, for,
Yeah.
could be a platonic love, love for your children, or for, love is something that you have to nurture. Yeah, it's something that you have to nurture. Because kung sa, I mean, sa una, oh, love ko to. But then, wala namang nurturing efforts.
Hayaan mo lang.
Yeah, hayaan mo lang. I mean,
Wala mangyayari.
wala mangyayari. So, you nurture it every day.
It takes work nga.
Para ano, para it should be, it's just like, you know, a plant there. You nurture it every day. Para mag-grow siya.
Nako, magastos yan para sa akin.
It
Iba
does-
naman yun.
It doesn't have to be material things
Oo
to
nga, oo.
nurture.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Gestures
nurturing.
of
Just being there, no?
And nurturing takes so much, you know, to earn the trust, you know, trust,
Yeah, yeah.
and what else? You know, it's very unconditional.
should be
Yeah,
unconditional.
very unconditional.
Meron lang akong isang question because you're my editor. Pwede bang balikan yung wala na? O wag na lang?
Ano yung wala? Kasi pwedeng nawalan ako ng phone, nawala. Which
Edi,
one?
boyfriend.
Be specific. Ah, you mean if
Nag-break. Nag-goodbye.
goodbye and then balikan. Kasi when you break up or you know said you cut
Oo.
off a relationship, there's a reason.
Yeah.
Malalim na rason. Kasi
Okay.
why would you
bakit?
bakit mo i-give up
Oo,
kung wala
tama.
namang malalim na rason?
Oo.
So that reason, ako for me depende sa rason. Pwedeng very petty lang. Then,
Oo. Pwede naman.
ayoko lang kasi ayoko na siyang makita. I mean, that's very petty. I mean, pwede pang ma-thresh out yun.
Yeah.
But then kung malalim yung reason,
Okay.
and then you're asking me kung pwedeng balikan, personally, ako no. No,
Okay,
not anymore.
okay,
Ako din.
okay.
Don't look back.
Okay.
Yeah, not anymore.
Okay.
Kasi it's just like, you know, meron kang shirt na favorite pantalon mo, nagkabutas-butas na, tinahi mo, and then nilabhan, magtatastas yung tahi, and then, so you keep it, di ba?
Yeah.
Ilalagay mo na dun sa ano, sa either,
Oo.
sa isang box na for disposal. Now, kukunin mo pa ba? And isusuot mo, tatahiin mo ulit.
Hindi mo
When you know it's not already, ano,
It's not serving
it's not serving its purpose.
Okay.
Ganda.
Okay, that's how we end our Valentine's.
Yeah, so thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, of course, as usual, please say a few words to our viewers today if you would like.
To the Filipino
To the
people.
Filipino people.
Wow, Filipino people talaga. State of the nation. What do I say? Learned something from my experience, from what I went through. Ano lang, ulitin ko lang. I mean, dahil February, it's the love month. Kumbaga, love is, you know, I mean, you have to nurture love.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like, you know, taking care of, you know, your plants, taking care of something precious to you. So when something is precious, then you really have to take care of it no matter what.
Very
Maraming salamat po, Ma'am Gigi.
Yes.
Talaga naman, I should take that from you. Nurture. Huwag pabayaan. Alagaan.
Alagaan.
Palaguin.
Yes.
And I think that applies also to all relationships
Yes,
in your
yes.
life, diba?
Yeah,
Not just the romantic ones, diba?
Your relationship with the editor-in-chief.
Yes.
Dapat magtrabaho ka.
Okay, so
Okay.
watch Pairfect every Friday, 2 p.m. on Daily Tribune's Facebook and YouTube page. Thank you, mga katribu.
Ako po si Jojo Silvestre.
At ako po naman si Dinah Ventura. And this has been Pairfect.
Perfect.
Salamat.